Hi everyone, my name is Sophia Zuniga, and I'm going to be discussing today the lead and arsenic poisoning that was caused by the Metmex Peñoles silver zinc lead smelter plant in Torreón, Mexico, which is located in the center northern region of the country. That smelter went into production in 1902 and was operated with little or no environmental controls for about a century, measurably elevating blood lead level concentrations, especially in children. In 1999, Mexico's Environmental Protection Agency mandated corporate efforts to reduce that lead pollution, clean up the area, and monitor the adjacent environment. So first, we're going to be reviewing how one can be exposed to lead and arsenic, as well as the effects. Next, I will be showing the extent of lead and arsenic contamination in Torreon. And then finally, I will highlight the short-term effects in children and discuss some of the long-term implications of exposure. As far as the figures that we'll be going over, initially there will be a table, then a geographical map, next a line graph, then a bar or column chart, and then finally a pie chart. So first up, figure one is a lead and arsenic exposure table. So lead, what is it? It is a naturally occurring poisonous metal found in small amounts in the Earth's crust. Through the smelting process, lead dust, particles, and exhaust is created, which can be inhaled. Due to Mexico's lack of environmental controls, the wind carried these lead particles and contaminants throughout Torreon, and children are at high risk for lead poisoning. And over the course of chronic high levels of exposure, this could result in behavioral problems, learning difficulties, lowered IQ, hyperactivity, growth delay, and hearing problems. Arsenic is a naturally occurring element. It is found in rock, soil, water, air, plants, and animals. All of those contain some level of arsenic. However, inorganic arsenic compounds are highly toxic and have been linked to cancer. During smelting, arsenic combines with oxygen, chlorine, and sulfur to create inorganic compounds. Runoff from industrial plants can leach into the groundwater, which is in turn used for drinking and cooking, causing exposure. These compounds can also be inhaled. Long-term effects range from skin abnormalities to cancer, including bladder, blood, liver, lung, kidney, and skin cancers. Arsenic exposure during pregnancy can lead to birth defects and developmental delays as well. So figure two is a map. It might be slightly hard to see, but we have all the potential sources of exposure mapped out here. There's a cement plant down towards the bottom, a battery plant towards the right side of the map, but what I really want to focus on is the yellow square in the middle, which is the smelter. And the numbered circles are where soil samples were taken from in this particular study by Soto Jimenez and Flagel. And the green area are the mountains that we saw in the background of the photo on the title slide. Figure three is a line graph, and here we can see the lead isotopic composition and lead concentration in aerosol samples collected over the course of about a year and a half. I want to draw attention to the green line, which highlights the lead concentration over the course of the study period. We see that concentration peaks in 2005, despite the implementation of a remediation program to clean up the urban environment within 2 kilometers of the plant in 1999 through the Environmental Protection Agency that I discussed earlier. In figure four, we can see that the highest concentration of lead in indoor dust samples are within less than a kilometer of the plant. Concentrations steeply decline after about a kilometer. As in other smelter towns, the location of the smelter and local area characteristics, such as the direction of prevailing winds, are important determinants of the geospatial distribution of elevated blood lead levels among Torreon residents. And as far as our pie chart, we're looking at the percentage of first graders that parents reported seeing some form of cognitive dissonance. According to parents, 97% of children have a learning difficulty. Teachers filled out the same survey, and although the results were markedly less, teachers still reported over 60% of students experiencing one of the above. This just highlights the potential long-term effects of chronic arsenic exposure brought about by the smelter. In summary, the Metmex smelter released harmful amounts of lead and arsenic into the air and groundwater. High levels of both substances were found in blood, urine, soil, and aerosol samples. Despite cleanup efforts, many children were chronically exposed to large amounts of lead and arsenic. And more studies need to be done on the children and long term effects of these exposures. Although preliminary findings and through interviews with family in the area, it is clear that these high levels of exposure have had an effect on the health and well being of people in the area. Since it has been several years, there still needs to be more studies on the long term implications of some of these exposures and kind of do a where are they now study on the children that were exposed. And here are my references. Thanks.